Dire wolves were incredible creatures that lived thousands of years ago. Though similar to modern wolves, they had many unique features. In this video, we'll dive into what made dire wolves special, including their appearance, behavior, and habitats. We'll also explore where they lived and the reasons behind their extinction. Join us to learn more about these powerful predators from the past and what set them apart from today's wolves. What were dire wolves? Dire wolves, known scientifically as Canis dirus, were large canines that lived during the Pleistocene epoch, a time period that lasted from about 2.6 million to 11,700 years ago. They are extinct now, which means they no longer exist in the wild or in captivity. Dire wolves are closely related to modern gray wolves, but they were a distinct species with their own characteristics. The name dire wolf might sound scary because of the word dire, which means terrible or dreadful. However, dire wolves were not monsters. They were powerful predators that played an important role in their environment. They are also famous today because of their appearance in popular culture, like in the TV show Game of Thrones, where they are depicted as giant mythical creatures. In reality, dire wolves were not as fantastical, but they were still impressive animals. Where did dire wolves live? Dire wolves lived in the Americas, mainly in North and South America. Their fossils have been found in many places, including the United States, Canada, Mexico, and parts of South America like Peru and Venezuela. One of the most famous places where dire wolf fossils have been discovered is the La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles, California. The tar pits trapped many animals, including dire wolves, and preserved their bones, giving scientists a lot of information about them. Dire wolves preferred open environments like grasslands, savannas, and forests. They lived in areas where there were plenty of large animals to hunt, such as mammoths, bison, and giant sloths. The climate during the Pleistocene was often cold, with ice ages affecting many parts of the world, but dire wolves were adaptable and could survive in different conditions. What did dire wolves look like? Dire wolves were larger than most modern wolves, but they were not as gigantic as they are shown in movies or TV shows. On average, they were about 5 feet long, 1.5 meters, from nose to tail, and weighed between 130 to 175 pounds, 60 to 80 kilograms. They stood about 2.5 feet, 0.8 meters, tall at the shoulder. Compared to a modern gray wolf, dire wolves were slightly bigger and more muscular. Their bodies were built for strength. They had strong jaws and large teeth, which helped them take down big prey. Their skulls were wider and more robust than those of modern wolves, and their bite force was powerful. Dire wolves also had shorter, thicker legs, which made them less fast but very strong. Their fur was probably similar to that of modern wolves, with colors like gray, brown, or black, though we can't know for sure since fur doesn't fossilize. How did dire wolves behave? Dire wolves were pack animals, just like modern wolves. They lived and hunted in groups, which made it easier for them to take down large animals. Working together, they could surround and overpower prey that was much bigger than they were. Scientists believe dire wolves were intelligent and had strong social bonds within their packs, similar to how modern wolves care for each other. Their diet mainly consisted of large herbivores such as horses, bison, and camels, which were common during the Pleistocene. They were carnivores, meaning they ate meat, and they were apex predators, which means they were at the top of the food chain. However, dire wolves sometimes face competition from other predators, like saber-toothed cats and American lions, which also hunted large animals. Dire wolves likely had territories that they defended from other packs. They may have communicated with howls, body language, and scents, just like modern wolves do. While we don't know much about their family life, it's likely that they raised their pups in dens and worked together to protect and feed them. Why did dire wolves go extinct? Dire wolves went extinct around 10,000 to 11,000 years ago at the end of the Pleistocene epoch. Scientists are not completely sure why they disappeared, but there are several theories. One major reason is the changing environment. As the Earth's climate warmed and the ice ages ended, many large animals that dire wolves hunted, like mammoths and giant sloths, also went extinct. With less food available, dire wolves struggled to survive. Another possible reason is competition with other predators. As humans started spreading across the Americas, they hunted the same large animals that dire wolves relied on. Humans may have also hunted dire wolves or competed with them for resources. Additionally, other predators like modern wolves or big cats might have outcompeted dire wolves in the changing environment. Some scientists think that disease or genetic problems could have played a role in their extinction. If dire wolf populations became smaller, they might have had trouble reproducing and maintaining healthy numbers. Dire wolves in popular culture. Dire wolves have captured people's imaginations, especially in recent years. In Game of Thrones, dire wolves are portrayed as massive, loyal companions to the Stark family. While these fictional dire wolves are much larger and more magical than real dire wolves, they have made the species more popular. Video games, books, and movies often include dire wolves as fierce, majestic creatures, which keeps their legacy alive even though they are extinct. The real dire wolves, while not magical, were just as fascinating. Their strength, teamwork, and survival skills made them successful predators for thousands of years. Studying their fossils helps scientists learn more about the ancient world and how animals adapted to their environments. Fun facts about dire wolves. Despite their fierce reputation and imposing name, dire wolves were not the enormous beasts many imagine. In reality, they were only about 25% larger than modern gray wolves, weighing up to 150 pounds, with a more robust build and powerful jaws. Their strong bite force allowed them to crush bones, making it easier to consume large prey, including bison and ancient horses. Dire wolves roamed North and South America and thrived for roughly 100,000 years. An impressive time span compared to the relatively short existence of modern humans. Fossils of these remarkable predators have been unearthed in great numbers, especially at the La Brea tar pits in California, where over 4,000 individual specimens have been discovered. These remains give scientists deep insight into their anatomy, social behavior, and environment. Their wide geographic range highlights their adaptability to different climates and ecosystems, proving they were more than just powerful hunters, they were survivors. Why are dire wolves important? Studying dire wolves helps scientists piece together the story of Earth's distant past. Their fossilized bones reveal valuable clues about the animals they hunted, the changing environments they adapted to, and how they competed or coexisted with other species, including early wolves and large Ice Age predators. Each discovery adds to our understanding of how ancient ecosystems worked and how species respond to environmental changes over time. Dire wolves also remind us of how fragile life on Earth can be. Despite their strength, sharp senses, and adaptability, they couldn't survive the challenges brought on by a changing world. Shifts in climate, loss of prey, and competition with other species like the gray wolf likely led to their extinction. Beyond their scientific importance, dire wolves continue to inspire curiosity and wonder. Learning about them connects us to a time before modern civilization and reminds us of the importance of protecting today's wildlife before it's too late. In conclusion, dire wolves were incredible animals that thrived in the Americas for thousands of years. They were strong, social, and skilled hunters, but they could not survive the massive changes that happened at the end of the Pleistocene. Today, their fossils and the stories we tell about them keep their memory alive. Whether you imagine them as the giant wolves of Game of Thrones or as the real-life predators of the ancient world, dire wolves are a reminder of how amazing and complex nature can be. Like this video, share it with others, and don't forget to subscribe for more content. Thank you.